Hello, everyone. I'm Ali Hassan. I've been the host this year for the 2021. Is that what year it is? Yeah, check. 2021 Forest of Reading Awards. I'm losing all concept of time, and the only thing keeping me centered is literature. And I'm sure it's played a big role in your life as well. We have the winner of the Red Maple Award with us. We're very lucky to have him here. Kenneth Oppel. How are you, Kenneth?
I'm well. I'm very well.
Well, congratulations, first and foremost. You are the Red Maple winner. Great news out of the gate. Let me say great news.
It's wonderful news. I love this award. I love the reading program just because it puts the power in the hands of the young readers to choose their favorite books. It's great.
So that's the good news. You won. The troubling or potentially distressing news is that you may be running out of space to put all your awards. Are we okay? Is everything all right there?
We're fine. Oh no, there will always, should I get more awards, there will always be available.
There'll be room. Well, yes. So young friends, young readers, I would encourage you. See, this is the interesting thing about your life, Kenneth, that there are people who know you since the 90s, and then there are people who will know you just now, who would have first heard of you now, thanks to the Forest of Reading.
Absolutely.
But young readers, you can look at Kenneth's life and his work. And this is a very interesting thing that I wanted to get into with you, Kenneth, because you have books. If anyone goes to KennethOppel.com, is it .com? .ca. .ca.
Proudly Canadian. Yeah.
Right. So if anyone goes to your website, they will see that you have picture books, you have chapter books for younger readers, and you have many young adult novels, and you even have an adult novel from back in the day. You dipped one toe. Yeah, you dipped one toe in the year 2000, and then you're like, I don't like it here. I'm out. Back to the kid.
I was back to the fantastical world of children's lit. Much happier and freer there.
Right. So before we get into Bloom a little bit, let me just ask you in general. I mean, where do you find? Is it just sort of, this is what I'm in the mood for right now? Or is there a place where you find the most sort of fulfilling writing and the most fulfilling work, and you just go in that direction? How do you choose what to write and what to work on?
I usually have at any given time a list of 3 or 4 contenders that have been, sort of brewing in my various ideas notebooks. I know they're promising if I keep getting pulled back to the ideas. I mean, there are some ideas that have been kicking around in, this thing for like 10 years until I'm ready to tell this story. But I know it's promising if I can't stop thinking about it. So at any given time, I'll have 2 or 3 ideas, and they're sort of brewing in the back of my head as I'm working on whatever the main project is, and then I go back and I re-examine the list, and I just choose the one that's most exciting to me at the time. And sometimes something comes out of left field completely, an idea that has not been inscribed in the sacred notebook will just come out of left field and be the idea for the next book. And
Bloom, we should mention, your winning book this year is part of a trilogy. When you first got the idea for Bloom, did you know that it was so big that it would take 3 books to tell the story, or did that happen in the writing?
Unusually, yes, I knew this was going to be 3 books. I don't usually work like this. I usually write 1 book at a time because that's sane. That's appropriate.
Yeah.
There's a lot of story. 1 book is enough. But in this case, I just had, it seemed like it was going to be a very clear, delineated 3 books. And it would be so easy. The first book would be an invasion of plants. The second book would be an invasion of weird things that hatched out of eggs. And in the third book, you get to meet the people responsible for sending all these plagues on the planet. Seemed easy at the time. Of course, it was anything but. To write sort of 3 books simultaneously, which is essentially what it was. It was crazy. It was like a Rubik's Cube of story. Yeah.
And I should let young readers know that if you have read Bloom and you're interested in knowing where this all goes, the other 2 books are available. So it's Bloom, it's Hatch, and then it is the third one, which is Thrive.
This came out last week.
Yeah. Last week. So they are all available now for your reading pleasure.
For your apocalyptic pleasure.
I was reading your bio, Kenneth. You've really done coast to coast living in Canada. Started out west, right? Victoria, BC, Port Alberni and Victoria. And then you did spend time in the Maritimes. And now you're based in the Toronto area. You're based in GTA.
I am. So yeah, I've done coast to coast, even off coast. I did 2 years in Newfoundland as well.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's been great.
Does that serve your writing to have been such a sort of a pan-Canadian type of person and seen so many different parts of this country, do you think?
Probably subconsciously. I just have
Okay.
more landscapes in me,
Right.
more dialects and cadence, and I'm sure it all goes in. And I've started setting, more and more of my stories, explicitly in Canadian locations, Victoria, Vancouver, Salt Spring Island. My latest one that I'm working on is Toronto and the Toronto Islands. So I'm sure it all goes in, to that simmering cauldron of my imagination.
I'm going to wrap up with you soon with 10 rapid fire questions. But before we do that, I do. I owe this to young readers who are also thinking of writing. You have such a breadth of work. How do you write? How do you, where's the best place to write? What's the best way to write? What inspiration can you give young authors as they're trying to get into this world? Also, I'm listening very carefully as a budding author.
I just say ideas can come from anywhere, first of all. I think people's problem sometimes is they don't recognize their thoughts as ideas, because often they just present as questions. I say if you have an idea, an odd thought, odder the better. You've overheard a snippet of someone talking, a particular scene or image strikes you, write it down in a notebook, because then if you do get pulled back, if you do have lots of questions about that idea, if you feel like interviewing or interrogating your idea, that's a good sign, because it sort of grows, by layer and layer and, cross-examination. So, write them down and write about anything, especially younger writers. I mean, when I was in grades, 3, 4, 5, 6, I was basically writing fan fiction based on my obsessions: Star Wars, Dungeons and Dragons, video games. So don't feel, limited or inhibited by writing about other people's, stories or in other people's sort of styles. Is a great way of learning. And the other thing is, as wonderful as inspiration sounds, and we all talk about being inspired, a lot of it is just perseverance and patience, and not expecting it to be perfect on the first try. I think everyone, including myself, still thinks, I'm going to get it right this time. It's going to be great. It's not going to require any more thought or revision. It's just going to come out perfectly. And it never does. And so you have to go through this process of rethinking and retelling the story over and over again, which I think is daunting to a lot of people, especially younger kids who just want to be, done.
Right. Well, this is so many of us, right? That desire for perfection, it harms you in a way, because sometimes you don't even get something started because you want it to be perfect, right? And sometimes you don't finish it. You start it, but you don't finish it because you want it to be perfect. But that's what editors are for. They'll make it perfect. You just get it done, right?
You've got to finish it before you're even in the sort of in the running to improve it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope my goal here in talking to you was A, to congratulate you, B, to sort of celebrate your works, and C, to inspire other students or readers to look at what you've done and say, I can do it too. And I think that was a great thing that you mentioned just now, which is sometimes just a snippet, right? It can be just a little idea off a little conversation, and out of that grows 250 to 300 words of fiction.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Still to this day, incredible that it grows.
All right, I'm going to ask you some questions. We'll get to know you and try to stump you at the same time here. 10 rapid fire questions here. Number one, how many books do you read a year? Is there time for that in Kenneth Oppel's life?
Sure. I'm going to say 20.
20.
I mean, some of that might be, novels, my bedtime reading. Some of it might be professional work and research. But yeah, let's say 20. It's
good. It's a good number. We have to remember, even if you read one book a month, that's really only 12 books a year with all the books out there, right? We got to be on top of this thing. Tea or coffee?
Coffee now. It used to be tea. Now it's coffee.
Oh, you're fully grown. You're fully grown. Favorite movie?
Jaws.
Oh yeah, no kidding. Okay. Favorite thing in your home?
Kitchen.
The kitchen.
Because it's like, you know, lots of good stuff comes out of the kitchen. It's also where everyone sort of congregates. So it's where I mostly spend time with my, you know, with my kids and family.
When people want to put real pressure on you, they say, if your house is on fire, what do you run out with? You run out with your entire kitchen. That's the answer to that question. If you could live anywhere in Canada, I'm going to specify Canada for this. Having lived in so many places, where would you love to live?
Oh, that's an unfair question. I mean, I live in Toronto because I've lived here so long, and all my friends are here, and so many of my connections are here, and my kids, you know, went or still go to school here. I mean, there's lots of places I could happily live in Canada and have, you know, like Vancouver. I could live in Halifax. I would love to live in Montreal. You know, Vancouver. Did I say Vancouver?
You said Vancouver twice.
Yeah, maybe that's meaningful.
Exactly. An investigative type might say like, really lean.
Probably Vancouver. Did I say Vancouver? Vancouver.
I have not heard you say Vancouver yet, but I'm thinking you might enjoy Vancouver. Let's talk about, you love the kitchen. The next question is, what is the one food item you cannot live without? Let me put it even more gun to the head. You're on a desert island. You can only have one food item. What is it?
I'm overthinking already, because it's like, now I've got to be able to survive on that one thing. Can't just be what I like. You know, can't be like a Lindt chocolate. I don't think that would keep me alive long term. I don't know. Eggs.
Eggs. Okay, yeah. Great. You can have them so many ways. That's a great, yeah. What is your dream vacation? This, you know, aside from the obvious living on a desert island with eggs, what is the dream vacation?
Ooh, I think it's probably Italy somewhere, on the coast in the south, you know, or I don't know. I think probably Italy. Somewhere in the Mediterranean or a Greek island.
Okay. If you want to meet Kenneth Oppel in his off hours, young readers, be in the southern part of Italy and you will maybe find him. What is your favorite dessert?
Tiramisu.
Tiramisu, Italian. Yeah, and eggs. Are there eggs in tiramisu? No, yes. Mascarpone cheese. Are there? Okay. Everything's coming together. Maybe. I'm not sure if this stays in the Italian world, but what language do you wish you could speak?
Well, I can speak clumsy French, but I wish my French were much better. So I'm going to just double down on French. Okay. I feel like I should be a lot better at French, and my French is kind of lousy.
Final question: ebook, physical book, or audio book?
Oh my gosh, I don't even think it's the real book, because you can sniff it. It smells so good.
I hear you. My father had a library of over 10,000 books.
Oh, wow.
And I just, as much as my children try to, you know, sell me on the audio, it's very tough, very tough. I love the feeling of a book.
They're so beautiful to hold. And they decorate a room, you know, like so many of the rooms in our house are filled with books. And it's just, they warm up that room. Like automatically I want to enter a room that has books in it. It's like a gravitational pull.
Right. And this trilogy, actually, on that note, very artistic and very beautiful. Also can really bring a room together. Your orange, red, yes. Blue, and then purple, I think, was Thrive, right? In the purple.
Yeah. It's a nice scheme. They go well together, and they pair very nicely with wine or Coca-Cola.
These are young readers, so Coca-Cola, I think.
I offered a non-alcoholic alternative.
Yeah. Well, congratulations again, Kenneth. And it's very nice speaking with you. And I think, this will be great news for this entire trilogy. That the third one just came out. I think we'll have a bunch of young readers racing to get it all in them.
I hope so. Thank you very much for the interview.
My pleasure. We'll talk to you again soon, I'm sure.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.